without even giving him a fair trial. In 1998, they just sent cruise missiles into Afghanistan, and they announced that they were trying to kill Osama bin Laden. We didn't know Osama bin Laden then. I didn't know him, and he was a simple man. So we were all shocked. I was one of those men who was sitting at home at night. I was called for an immediate council meeting, and we all were told that the United States have attacked Afghanistan with 75 cruise missiles and trying to kill one man. And they missed that man, killed 19 other students, and never apologized for those students. So what would you do if you were in our status? If we were to go and send 75 cruise missiles into the United States and say that we were going to kill a man that we thought, not believed, that we thought were responsible for our embassies, and we missed that man and we killed 19 other Americans, what would the United States do? An instant declaration of war, but we were polite. We didn't declare war. We had a lot of problems at home. We didn't want further problems. And since then, we are very open-minded on this issue. We have said that if really this man is involved in the Kenya and Tanzania acts, if anybody can give us proof or evidence about his involvement in these horrendous acts, we will punish him. Nobody gave us evidence. We put him on trial for 45 days and nobody gave us any kind of evidence. The fact is the United States told us that they did not believe in our judicial system. We are surprised as to what kind of judicial system they have. They've shown us to what are they doing to the people. They just tried to kill a man without even giving him a fair trial. Even if one of us is a criminal here, the police is not going to blow his house. He must go to a court first. So that was rejected. Our first proposal, despite all these things, was rejected. They said they did not believe in our judicial system, and he must be given to New York. The second proposal, after the rejection of this first proposal we gave, was we are ready to accept an international monitoring group to come into Afghanistan and monitor this man's activities in Afghanistan so that he does nothing, even that he has no telecommunication equipment. That proposal was also rejected. And the third proposal we gave 6 months ago was that we were ready to try or to accept a third Islamic country's decision on or the trial of him in a third Islamic country with the consent of Saudi Arabia and Afghanistan. That was also rejected. So we don't know as to what is the problem behind. If bin Laden was the only issue, we are still very open-minded, and for the fourth time, I'm here with a letter from my leadership that I'm going to submit to the State Department, hoping that they will resolve the problem. But I don't think so they will resolve it. Because we think, and I personally think now, that maybe the United States is looking for a boogeyman always. Remember what Gorbachev said? He said is that he's going to do the worst thing ever to the United States. And everybody thought that he's going to blow the United States with nuclear weapons. But he said, I'm going to remove their enemy. And then he fragmented Soviet Union. And he was right. After he fragmented the Soviet Union, a lot of people lost their jobs in the Pentagons, in the CIA and FBI because they were not needed anymore. So we think that maybe these guys are looking for a boogeyman now. Maybe they want to justify their annual budgets. Maybe they want to make their citizens feel that they are still needed to defend them. Afghanistan is not a terrorist state. We cannot even make a needle. How are we going to be a terrorist state? How are we going to be a threat to the world? If the word terrorism is really derived from the word terror, then there are countries making weapons of mass destruction, countries making nuclear weapons, causing deforestation, causing air and water pollution. They are terrorist states. We are not. We cannot even make a needle. How are we going to be a threat to the world? So as I said at the beginning, the situation in Afghanistan is not our creation. The situation in Afghanistan reflects the world's image. If you don't like the image in the mirror, do not break the mirror. Break your face. Now we are under sanctions. And the sanctions have caused a lot of problems. Despite that we are going under so many problems, the 22 years of continuous war, the total destruction of our infrastructure, and the problems of refugees and the problems of landmines in our agricultural lands. All of a sudden, the United Nations, with the provocation of Russia, is imposing sanctions on Afghanistan. And the sanctions have been approved. We are under sanctions. 700 children died a month ago. Here it is. 700 children died because of malnutrition and the severe cold weather. Nobody even thought about that. Everybody knows about the statues. For us, we are surprised. If the world is destroying our future with economic sanctions, then they have no right to worry about our past. Everybody is saying that if they are destroying their heritage, they don't have any right to talk about that. They are destroying the future of our children with economic sanctions. How are they going to justify to talk about our past? I know it's not rational and logical to blow the statues for retaliation of economic sanctions, but this is how it is. I called after this announcement, I called my headquarters and I found out, I was really confused. I asked them why are they going to blow the statues. And I talked to the head of the Council of Scholars and People who had actually decided this. He told me that UNESCO and an NGO from Sweden, Sweden, Scandinavian countries, Norway, Sweden, one of these, they had actually come with a project of rebuilding the face of these statues, which were worn by rains. So the Council of People had told them to spend that money in saving the lives of these children instead of spending that money to the statues. And these guys had said no, that this is only for the statues. And the people were really pissed off. They said that if you don't care about our children, we are going to blow those statues. I don't say that he is right or wrong. The decision is yours. Think of yourself. If you are in such problems, what will you do? If your children are dying in front of your eyes and you are under sanctions, and then the same people who have imposed sanctions are coming and building a statue here, what will you do? So I talked to my headquarters today, and they've said that the statues have not been blown so far, but the people are so angry. They're really angry. They want to blow that. And there is Kofi Annan is going, you know, Kofi Annan, the Secretary General of the United Nations, he went to Pakistan, and he said that he's going to meet our representative there. This man never bothered himself to talk about these children. He never bothered himself to talk about 6 million refugees. He never talked about the poverty of Afghanistan. He only goes to that region because of these statues. And the OIC is also, they have also sent a mission to go to Kabul and talk about the statues. So we are really confused that the world is really caring about the statues and then they don't care about human beings. I don't say that we have to retaliate in blowing the statues. We have not done that. That if we were to destroy those statues, we would have destroyed them 3 years before now, because we captured those areas 3 years before now. We didn't want to blow them. And now this situation has come. And this is not our decision. This is the decision of the scholars and the people. And that decision has been approved by the Supreme Court. We cannot reject this decision. So these guys are there, the OIC and some, even I think some ministers from different countries are there to save the lives of the statues. I think they will not be blown because of the concerns of these people. But it's really, really ridiculous. These people do not care about children, about people who are dying there, about the foreign interference that still exists. They only care about the statues. And I am sure they don't care about our heritage. They don't care about our heritage. They only care about their picnic site one time. Maybe they will have a good picnic sometimes there, seeing those statues. They don't care about our heritage, I'm sure. If they were to care about our past, they wouldn't destroy our future. And I'm sure that these sanctions which are imposed on our government will never change us. Because for us, our ideology is everything. To try to change our ideology with economic sanctions will never work. It may work in the United States where economy is everything, but for us, our ideology is everything. So you can't change us with that. And we believe that it's better to die for something than to live for nothing. We are still open-minded. We have still opened our doors for negotiations, but our offices are closed everywhere. Our office was closed in New York a week ago. They are trying to shut our offices in other countries, trying to isolate us, and they don't know that the isolation is counterproductive. Because they don't have experts. The only experts they have are those people who speak English. They don't even speak the language. Those experts who are advising the sanctions or the sanction committee have not even been to Afghanistan. And they are setting benchmark for us to achieve. So I'm prolonging this speech, I'm sorry, because I have been repeating it everywhere, so I may have left something in it, and I will let you ask me questions.
Regarding the questions, there are two ways to ask the questions. One way is you can come up to the microphones here, the sisters here, the brothers here, or you can write down the questions on pieces of paper that I think are being handed out right now. So after they're written down, because you might not want to come up for some reason, then just pass on to the ushers, inshallah, and they'll bring it up. So is there any questions for the microphone? You can come up right now, inshallah. Go ahead.